When Saturn joins Pluto in your birth chart, it doesn't just whisper, it rebuilds. So this conjunction is one of astrology's most intense initiations. So wherever Saturn and Pluto meet in your chart, they strip away illusions and demand mastery. So Saturn is that Capricorn energy, right? Like it provides structure, rules, and discipline. Pluto supplies the raw primal power of transformation. Think about like that Phoenix energy, that Scorpio energy. And then together, they act like engineers of your karma. So they tear down old systems and force you to rebuild from the ashes. And remember, every house has its own theme. Every sign brings its own energy. So depending on where those are at and what sign they're in, it's going to mean something different for you. So for example, I have Saturn and Pluto in Libra in my 5th house. So what that means is that love, creativity, and self-expression are forged through deep lessons. So relationships can feel karmic, as if I'm meeting old flames from past lives to resolve unfinished business. And it often requires me to learn how to love without control and to create from authenticity rather than approval. And power struggles in romance may serve as catalysts for reclaiming my self-worth. And that was absolutely true in the romance arena when I was younger, right? Because I was letting people walk all over me and I was a doormat instead of standing up for who I am and standing in my power. That's no longer the case. And I now have a relationship where we're filling up each other's cups instead of me just filling up the other person's. If you have Saturn and Pluto in Taurus in the 8th house, that's the alchemist's laboratory, right? So security, trust, and shared resources are tested until you release attachments to material or emotional control. You're being asked to master transformation through surrender. Finances may be linked to karmic debts or inheritances that teach the difference between possession and power. True rebirth comes through vulnerability and intimacy. If you have Saturn and Pluto and Scorpio in the 1st house, you are the embodiment of transformation itself. So you may wrestle with identity crises until you shed false layers and reveal your authentic self. Every rebirth strengthens your inner authority and deepens your soul mission. Pluto and Saturn together always mean reconstruction. It's tearing down what no longer holds truth and rebuilding what can sustain your soul's evolution. And it's not a punishment, it's purification. So when you integrate both energies, you become your own architect of transformation.